Hear, O Israel, the Lord is our God, the Lord alone. Therefore you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and with all your strength. And you shall love your neighbor as yourself. In today's gospel, at this point, Jesus has been teaching and explaining to his disciples until it prompts someone to ask, which is the greatest of all the commandments? It could have been a trick question to see whether he would speak faithfully to the Jewish tradition, or it could have been a sincere question, truly trying to understand the implications of life beyond this world and into eternity. Either way, Jesus responds with a formula that was incredibly familiar to his audience. Hear, O Israel, the Lord is our God. In fact, it was so familiar, the bystanders and the questioner himself probably joined in with Jesus, reciting it along with him. This profession of faith is known as the Shema, and it is the oldest fixed daily prayer in Judaism. Coming from the book of Deuteronomy and given in the law of Moses, it has been recited morning and night by pious Jews since ancient times. It is the most fundamental expression of Jewish belief and the one from which this prayer gets its name, Shema Israel, meaning, Hear, Israel. The questioner's response to Jesus indicates that he was indeed sincerely trying to understand. He wanted communion and intimacy with God, which led him to want to know and love God's commandments and to live them more faithfully. Jesus perceives this and responds, You are not far from the kingdom of God. What about us? In what ways are we seeking to know and understand God's commandments? Can we see ourselves loving the Lord our God with all our heart and soul, with all our mind and strength? How are we loving our neighbors as ourselves for the love of Christ? Do we think often of this as Jesus and his contemporaries did, so that our minds are always fixed on loving God with all our hearts? These are important questions. Dare we ask any more? May our devotion to the loving God become so great that Jesus also says to us, You are not far from the kingdom of God. May God continue to bless you.